All right, welcome back. This is round one, game three between Pro Pets Reunited Online and CAD Control Alt Defeat
Wait,
series.
back up a second. That's what PRO stands for?
So, a little bit of trivia here. I actually asked Randy because I was unsure if pro stood for professionals or prostitutes, and he threw me a straight curveball out of left field, and he was like, "No, it's Reunited Online," and I was like, "What?" So that came from the man himself.
Listen, if it came from the man himself, then it must be true.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here. So Pro is up 2-0, and CAD they need to win this game. They are on the back foot. This is a map did they pick this map? Now that I think about it. No, they did pick this map actually, because they picked Tangerine and then Alter Divide, and then this would have been their third. This would have been third pick, which is theirs. So they are on Pawn Retreat, which they chose. So hopefully they're a little bit more comfortable on this map, and hopefully they're going to be able to sort of deliver it. I think that you had a really good point last game where you were talking about kind of really desperately need to scout, especially for that air, right? There was a kind of a massive air wall that was against no fighters. What other things do you think we need to see out of CAD to kind of bring this back to a 2-1 instead of a 3-0?
Me personally, I want to see some cheese. I want to see a big old vehicle or bot raid on one player, just try to overwhelm them. Especially with how open the center of Pawn Retreat is, there are plenty of avenues of attack that you can take advantage of if you just find one little opening.
That is a very, very good point, actually. Pawn Retreat definitely does have quite a few just like kind of paths and ways into it. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. It's funny because it's hard to identify a lot of it's hard to identify one specific point where it feels like the last game went wrong, but it definitely kind of got away out of their hands. Maybe the late T2, so hopefully we could see an earlier T2, but players are in game, and let me stop showing myself and show the players, because that's way more exciting. Those are not the players, just kidding. Those are the maps. Now we're seeing the players in the actual game. Apologies. So on the bottom we got Control Alt Defeat. Interesting that Watch Me Do This spawns here, right? I feel like normally we see the forward spawn. Actually, both players did. Daywalker spawned it back too. I guess they value that higher mechs count, but I think I saw DBS and TZN both do forward spawns here because they feel like if they take that, then they can come up and kind of just trap the enemy right there. But it's interesting that they both took those farther spots. I wonder if Alutan and Elmer Fudd are going to be in charge of that whole flank, and maybe these are air players, but I guess we'll see how it pans out. In terms of introductions, it looks like Rebel Node is ARM bots in purple. Predator is yellow core bots, lots of bots, tons of reclaim. Sad Panda is tan core bots. Alutan is orange core bots. And Watch Me Do This is red core bots. We've got four core bots and one ARM bot. And what do we got up here?
We have Pro Randy in the top left corner starting ARM vehicle. That's kind of interesting choice from that location, I'd have to say. Pro Shannon is core bot. High gain in the middle. ARM vehicle again.
A lot of vehicle, right?
Yeah. Pro Elmer Fudd next to him, core bot. And Daywalker in the top right-hand corner with core bots. Now, yeah, it's interesting that both of these corner players, Watch Me Do This and Pro Daywalker, chose to spawn here and go vehicle. I think the more seasons bar players would look at those spawn locations and say air. That guy plays air. But no, we're seeing some ground forces from those players.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. The one thing that I'm a little concerned about is I feel like with the amount of bot opens on CAD, there's so many little paths you can abuse with bots where you can, like, if you run sort of like this, you can abuse the high ground and then kind of spill into the back here. And you can also do, like when you're fighting on these hills, you can kind of abuse the bot mobility. So I don't actually know if it's going to work out. I'm a little curious to see how it goes. Interesting that no one opened any air at all. I have seen some like 4 ground 1 air opens, but it looks like this is just all ground, all front, all day. So I'm excited to see robots kill each other.
Right, you are. I love seeing myself some robot destruction too, as we see Predator pushing in with some grunts, trading laser fire.
Yeah, he's got these grunts coming in. I don't think he actually gets anything from this raid, but if nothing else, hopefully he can get a little bit of vision. And how unfair is it that grunts have great vision? Like pawns have garbage vision, but somehow grunts have incredible vision. How is this fair?
Grunts have bigger legs. I don't know how it's grunts are amazing units. It's not fair, but core's got to have something, right? I mean, arm has Janus, they have sabers, they have starlights, razorback. I mean, I could list every other arm unit and make a good case of why arm is actually the superior faction.
All right, and it's not quite as big as I thought. It's like 429 versus 500. So it's not quite as big, but it felt really big when looking at him. And Hygen's going to clean up the grunts that we're trying to raid with 3 blitz. Aluton is pushing up this side versus Randy. And wait, why is there a transport? Who has an air lab here, boys? That didn't appear from
Oh, interesting. Watch me do this. Transition to core air. Has got that transport out for his allies here.
Yeah, I like that. And he'll have fighters and Shuris, but I actually like he kind of did the reverse of Randy there, right? So he opens the bots, shows the bots to Randy and says, hey, I'm in your lane. Hey, I'm making units. Be afraid. And then goes, psych, and transitions to air. So good work from him. Can Predator get anything done in mid with these grunts? He's trying. Does he sneak in
I
here?
think the best he can do is puff his chest out a little bit. He's got 2 pro players out to greet him here. Oh, never mind. Sampain is also there with him. A bit of an engagement from Rebel Node on the right side, trading pawns into thugs.
That's a hard fight right there, right? I mean, I feel like thugs just rip them apart.
You'd think, given how fast pawns are, that they can duck, dodge, dive,
Dip.
you know, from those plasma shots, but
they never learned the 5Ds, the 4Ds.
No, they did not, unfortunately. Maybe next patch they'll introduce the 5Ds.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see. Sad Panda with the vehicle switch. So if he can hold, I feel like if he can hold with these 7 grunts and just kind of fake out Shaman, then this vehicle switch might work out and he'd be able to fight high gain. But Randy spilled in. Aluton has LLTs and units there, but Randy says, hey, I don't want to go fight into your pork. I want to go kill all the mexes behind.
That's, you gotta watch your flanks on this map, given how open it is. Aluton's losing a construction bot.
Watch me do this shows his air, so Pro gets the notification from it, and I don't know why this scout is just chilling here, but it's gonna land on the rock.
It's sleepy. He's taking it out. Oh nope, he's going back. All right, getting back to work.
He's chilling. And Elmer Fudd is starting to push in here. Rebel Node is not quite 1v2, but he's 1v2 versus commanders, which is a little scary. I think that definitely can incentivize Daywalker to just calm trade with him so Elmer Fudd can clean up. Predator has quite a few grunts trying to bully off Elmer, but I think between the commander and the thugs, he's not really going to be able to force him back. At least he can stall and maybe take some mexes.
Daywalker is still making bots. This is interesting to see, given that Watch Me Do This has already made that air transition.
And we've got whirlwinds getting made, so this should be pretty good. Sad Panda, I would also like to give a shout out to. I mean, he's 1v2 in mid, fighting a lot of shit with very few units, and even though he's overwhelmed, it's, you know, he's still holding it for now. I think that Watch Me Do This needs to get a lot done with this air soon, because they're just completely outmatched on ground, right? It's a 4v5 on ground, and Sad Panda is unfortunately the recipient of that 1v2.
Yeah, Watch Me Do This is gonna send some Shuris out. There aren't any Whistler, okay, there is one Whistler. I see a Whistler there. Yeah. And that one Whistler is enough to drive Shurikens back. See,
Oh, and Rebel actually sneaks in some grunts behind, so he picks off one max. Does he get another? Oh, wait. Oh, God. Oh, no. Sad Panda's comp goes down in mid.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
it was only a matter of time.
Worse. On the bright side, maybe Rebel Node can do some eco damage here. He's getting in with these pawns. They're doing a ton of damage. They're killing thugs. And at the same point, mid is getting
surrounded. Yeah. Mid's getting rolled. The pawn aggression gets shut down by 3 of the players from pro team. This is...
On the bright side, Sad Panda did just get a bunch of cons to this lab, so he might have the BP to push stuff out, but I'm a little concerned that High Gain can just walk at it. Do they see it? Oh, they don't see it here. Oh, no, he sees the nano. He knows it's here. If he just calm walks at it, this is going to be a little scary. Predator, yeah, they did a bit of damage, but not enough. It kind of ends up just being a little bit of a rotation. On the same side, Watch Me Do This is pushing right with his comm, and if he can get to Randy's base before these LLTs go up, he might be able to kill him.
Watch Me Do This just walking through the front door? Is that actually happening?
He's not a vampire. He doesn't need permission. He's just patrolling through. He's ready.
He is eating a lot of laser fire. He's already down to 29%.
He is
but
so low.
He's just going in.
Oh my God. No, I think he gets the lab, right? But
yeah.
Is it enough? It looks like
a Janet shot.
Oh, Watch Me Do This. Not like, he got the lab.
12, 10%, 8-6.
Oh. Yeah, I know, he's down. And Watch Me Do This is going to come in with the bombs, too. But High Gain and Shaman are now going to push 1v2 mid. And, dude, poor Predator is 1v3 in mid. His allies have abandoned him, so Watch Me Do This needs to work wonders with these whirlwinds.
He's taking on a few wind turbines right now.
I think, don't you just want to go for the Geo, right? I mean, he does. All right, so he gets a lot of wind. He gets a couple of mexes, and he's going for the Geo now, which is huge. Hopefully he can get that. But
Daywalker's already got the air lab down. He's making fighters. He's gonna swat this down eventually.
Just gonna clean up. There aren't enough whirlwinds. Oh God, there are enough whirlwinds, right? He needs to do, I think, 2 passes on this, and I think he won't have the. Dude, also this hill where the fighters the bombers have to like slow down to go up it. So tilting. Yep. But he gets it, right? I still don't know if it's worth it. I think they're losing front too hard on too many places, so it's kind of concerning. I mean, yeah, Club is pointing out there's nothing in mid here, right? If they push, it just folds.
Yeah. Get some radar down, see that there's nothing there, and
On the bright side, I mean, red team is slightly ahead in energy now because of bombing that wind farm and taking out that Geo, so that's good. And maybe they can snipe Randy's comm here? No. Randy says, get out of here. You don't even know me, son. Let me show you my D guns. And the grunts, they all disappear. They all die horribly.
Spitting hot firewall, spitting hot disintegration ray. I don't know what does D gun stand for again?
Disintegration. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They're disintegrated. They're dying. It's all bad news. But Shaman is pushing in pretty brutally now here. I mean, Alutan is back, and they ceded essentially all control of these mid mexes, even though they're slightly ahead economically right now because of Randy's base dying. If Control of Defeat doesn't push out now, I feel like they just get straight out eco'd. There's no recovery here. And for a T2 check, I don't see. Do you see any?
I do see Rebel Node with the T2 lab.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a couple welders out, but he's just sitting there just trying to desperately hold against the aggression from Daywalker.
Wait, where are the transports? My homies, we need some transports for these cons ASAP. This is a little scary, right? Because they're already getting pushed hard, and High Gain's pushing with a T2 arm bot lab in mid. And by the time those cons get there, you're talking 1,800 metal just to up your initial 3 maxes. And I think the T2 from Pro just hits before that. So super tenuous time here.
The Jags are already deciding to run straight down mid, take out whatever they can get their grubby little lightning claws. No.
Lightning claws? That checks out. I don't know what they're called, but yeah.
Lightning close quarters lightning turret. I'm looking at the unit card here.
Only the professional names here. We'd really appreciate it.
My apologies.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the only thing holding back this mid push were the fear of Shuris, and it turns out Jaguars don't fear Shuris.
No, they get They got their own anti-Shuri weapon attached to their chassis there, so
yeah, and
no
dude,
problem
Hagen's
at all.
knocking on Sad Panda's door. He says, "Knock, knock, let me in, bro." And Sad Panda is doing his best to hold it closed, but I think Hagen might just run past and start killing everyone else's base. So this is starting to get real concerning.
Well, Sad Panda's not holding the door. They're coming in. They're wrecking everything.
I think they're about to kick the door down, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, it feels like Pro pushed them back from mid, and they're content to hold for a little bit while there's some raids, while they just up their T2 mexes and start to outscale. This is looking a little dire. Oh god, Daywalker with the grunts in their base. This is the stuff of nightmares. Poor Predator just watching his base melt to grunts.
Pro Randy on the left side, letting himself in. Rebel Node on the right, trying to keep him out with the welders. Rebel Node might be able to just march right into Daywalker's base, but I don't know if that's going to be fast enough.
I mean, there's no way, right? Like mid has fallen and they're flexing over to Rebel now, and left side has fallen and they're coming through. So I mean, I feel like unless a miracle happens and Teflon comes back and just kicks all of Pro out of the lobby, I feel like it might be just a little bit too little too late for our boys Control Alt Defeat.
Oh no, here comes a huge wave of Shuris on the right, taking out Rebel Nodes.
God. Oh yeah, they didn't even need the Shuris to stun everything. They just go, yep, there's 34 Shuris, we're done, we're out.
Yep.
So well played by CAD. I think early game they're actually doing really well. But again, Pro with that early T2, it just feels like their T2 hit like a minute or two faster, and that made all the difference.
I definitely agree with that. I'm looking at Pro's base right now, in the post game here. The thing I keep seeing, advanced solars. High Gain loves his advanced solars. Honestly, I think that is what's allowing these pro gamers on pro team here to transition to T2 so effectively. They don't have to completely rely on wind energy to propel them forward into the later stages of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all in all, it was definitely a bit tighter. I also feel like the watch me do this airplay, I almost wish he would have just stuck ground, right? Because it felt like his Shuris didn't accomplish that much when they could have just, like if he had just been ground and they could have 1v2'd Randy, I think maybe it would have worked out better. But, it's hard to know like how, what's the right choice there. But that is the end of the series. So this is round 1, and this was Pro versus Control Alt Defeat, and Pro takes it 3-0. So they get the maximum amount of points. They're going up, and CAD with the 0-3 gets the loss, and so they're going to move down in standings. So excited for that. Aiden, any final comments for that series?
Just some clean gameplay from what is it? Pets Reunited Online.
Pets Reunited Online, not professionals or prostitutes, which I think are the two things that most people think of when they hear pro. Am I right, Aiden? Can you confirm that for me, please?
Yeah, I 100% confirm, agree with that take there. So I'm excited to see more games from these players in the future.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. All right, we will call it there, and we will get on to the next series to cast. So hopefully we get some more good games in the rest of round 1.